Okay, in this video tutorial, I will mention some tools and tips I used regarding of selecting a picker button or editing a picker button. The first is selecting. So they go to the select menu, and you find a lot of selection features here. So this selection are all for the selecting of the picker item itself. It's not for selecting the nodes here. So in order to edit some picker button, you must first select them. Say I want to select all these yellow buttons here, so I can just pick one of these button and go to select items of the same color. So it will select all the yellow items for me. Say I want to select all the select buttons, and I can just grab this select button and select item of the same type. So you can select all the select buttons, including in this whole picker files, including the select button here. There's a whole lot of other features here. Say I want to select any type of, say, shape. I want to select any item that contain a bezier shape. So I just pick this bezier shape, pick a button, and select item with the same shape. So it will select these two bezier shapes for you. There's also, say, I grab this and set the sub namespace to sub ns. So if I say also here sub ns, so I want to select any picker button has a sub namespace like this. You can just select items of same sub namespace. Okay, so you just go through all these features. They are pretty straightforward. You got the select all the attribute button links. For this attribute button, I want to select all the links regarding of this attribute button. You just go to the select attribute button links. Okay, if I grab this and select attribute button slave, it will select all the picker buttons that be controlled by this pick attribute button regarding of their visibilities. Okay, and there's also select all links, select invert links. So you can just grab this and select invert links. It will select other links. This little selecting feature may be very handy if you are in some certain of situations. So this is a select parent panel. Say I grab any child button and select parent panel. Okay, sometimes the panel is pretty difficult to be selected. You just select its child and select parent panel. And on the contrary, you can select the panel and select all their children. So no matter it's invisible or out of this boundary or some other situation, they will all be selected as long as they are child picker button of this picker panel. Okay. There's also some features for selecting sliders and slider handles. So this is a pretty important since when the when the slider is especially for its background is invisible, sometimes it could be really difficult to select their slider handles or their slider itself. So you just grab this, say I want to select all the sliders here. So I just double click to select the slider and select items of the same type. It will select all the sliders for me and left this select button alone. And say if I want to actually select the slider handle instead of this slider itself. So we just go to select slider handle. So it will grab the handles for us. On the contrary, if I already grab this slider handle and I want to select the slider itself, we just go to the select parent slider. Okay, so this is pretty useful, especially for the slider that doesn't have any background frames. And we got a select mirror item. So if I grab this and select mirror item, it will deselect and select a mirror item for me. So that way you don't need to actually switch to the mirror tool to check out which item is the mirror item. And you can select overlap items. So for any item that overlap each other, it will select them. So it's pretty useful if you just create select button via 3D view, and that way sometimes you end up with a lot of overlapping buttons. So you can just select the overlapping buttons to see sometimes two buttons just overlap perfectly with each other. So you may think that it's just one single button, actually it's two or three. So you can use this select overlap items to check out if there's overlap items. Also select empty items. In this picker file, there's a lot of empty items. So for select button, the empty item means there's no member nodes, right? And for command button, that means it has no command codes. So here I use command button for right-clicking menu, so I haven't input any code here. So it will deal it with like an empty button. So for the attribute button, an empty button means it have no Maya attribute attached to it, and also it's a dummy attribute, but it doesn't control any other picker buttons visibility using these attribute links. So that means it's a empty attribute button, which means making no sense. Okay, for a slider, if the horizontal attribute and vertical attributes are both empty, and another way you have choose to not to use all these attributes, say a horizontal attribute and vertical attributes. This way this slider is empty slider. And for text, and there's no labels for that. Okay, so this is the empty items. And there's another feature, select items with existing objects. So what does that mean? So if a select button contains the nodes that if plus this namespace of picker and plus the subnames and plus this node name, the node doesn't exist in your scene, so it will select for you. Okay, so let you know which select button has already become invalid. Okay, as for an attribute button, it's stands for the node doesn't exist or the attribute doesn't exist anymore, so the attribute button become invalid. So something like that. And select highlighted buttons. So say here I got so say if I pick this button, pick this cube, and the button actually become highlighted. So I want to actually select this button. I just go to select highlighted button. Okay, this is a little features to help out this selection. And besides these selecting features, if you want to limit the selection within one picker panel and doesn't select anything outside this picker panel, so there's also some select features in this triangle menu, and select all children, maybe select overlapped children, maybe just some more selection features. But this selecting only limit to the this picker panel, because we are using the select features from these triangle menus, right?